Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing the difference between the highest tier bindings of Marker and Look. So what we have here is the Marker Jesters versus the Look Pivot 15/18s. In this video we're going to discuss the pros and cons of each, which one is right for you, and my experience with both of them. So stay tuned. And before we get started, make sure you subscribe down below, hit the like button, and as a thank you, I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up. All right, so getting started. The Marker Jesters and the Look Pivot 15/18s are pretty different designs. The Look 15s have, most notably, the pivot sliding heel piece and the pivoting toe piece, whereas the Jesters have the classic Marker wings that pop open on either side with the wheels, and the plate underneath, which you can see is well worn. The plate underneath of these Jesters that it sits on. So, who are these bindings for? These bindings are mostly for people who want the top of the line, that want the highest in settings you can get, that want the highest performance that you can get, and the most confidence in holding you in the binding. So anyone who's doing really extreme terrain, extreme skiing, big cliff drops, big free ride features, going fast, that's what these bindings were designed to do, and keep you in the binding. And they both do feel very high quality. So some other differences between them are, number one is the weight. The Look Pivots are the heaviest, coming in about 300 grams heavier than a pair of Jesters, which is significant, but not the end of the world. And that's because the Look Pivots are an almost all metal construction. This toe piece is all metal. This heel piece is just about all metal. Everything that actually connects to the ski and plays a functional role is metal. Even this plastic plate has this metal. It's actually mounted with this metal or composite alloy plate with the plastic around it for the grip lock. But that's what you get with the 15s, is an all metal construction, an extremely durable, burly binding. The Jesters have metal where it counts in this heel piece here, but the track is plastic, and this back heel piece is plastic. On the toes, just about everything's plastic besides these wings that kind of hold you in. So it has more metal where it's important over other Marker bindings, but it's a lot more plastic and composite compared to the pivots. So in my experience, I've found that the Look Pivots are much more durable than the Jesters because of all that metal, and is actually why I bought the Look Pivots instead of going with the Jesters again. I found a good deal on them, which was part of the reason, but another good reason is because I wanted something that's all metal and isn't going to wear out. It's the toe piece, everything sitting on it is metal, or these little, I'm sure these can be replaced. The heel piece, it's all metal. Everything that touches the boot and moves is metal, and I just think that it will hold up a lot longer than other bindings. And that's what you're getting for with the pivots. Now you're going to pay for that in cost and in weight, but you're going to get the binding that's going to be all metal and likely to keep you in whether you're doing the craziest stuff and last the longest doing it. That's my opinion of the Look Pivot 15s and 18s. They're basically identical besides the springs inside. Now, that doesn't mean the Jester is bad at all. The Jesters are awesome bindings, and I've used them and they've lasted a very long time. I've used these for 6 years or so. Probably should have replaced them sooner, but they do last a long time, and you won't be sorry for getting them. They will ride at amazing performance, but I think they're going to wear out faster. This track is plastic, and the plastic starts to deform over time. These toe pieces have these plastic wheels that will square out and wear out, and it just doesn't feel as quite high quality as the pivots. Other things to mention is that, if you can see it, the pivots do sit lower by a little bit more flush to the binding than the Jesters, and they also have a much smaller mounting point, so they have a much better flex. In addition, I think that the twisting release does release you much better than the Jesters do, although the Jesters do have a really good release, and I've released in them many times, and it is quite good. I just think the pivots take the cake in this aspect. So, if I was to recommend one, drumroll, I think the winner would be the Look Pivot 15s, but with a couple caveats. The caveats being, if you're really concerned about weight, then I would go with the Jesters. And that's about it. I mean, the Jesters, for the price, I feel like are not the best value. For $350, I feel like spending a little bit of extra, $70 or so. These might even be close to $400 if you get them new. Although the newer ones might be a little bit lighter. But for almost $400, I think, why would you not go with the tried and true Look Pivot 15s? They just look cooler. I think they run better. And I've had a lot of stories about people riding these Look Pivot 15s or the Look Pivot 18s, the ones that have been out for a long time, for over 10 years. They've told me that this binding will outlive a pair of skis or two because it's just all metal. There's nothing that can really go wrong, especially if you're not doing the craziest stuff on them. So, buy once, cry once is a saying, and it might be the case for these guys. The Jesters, you're definitely not going to be remounting these onto multiple skis, in my opinion. As you can see, I mean, these did get a lot of abuse. The Look Pivots would probably be hurting too if they saw as many days as these, but I just think these will hold up better, and which is why for my next daily driver ski, that's going to be an inbounds daily driver, I got the Look Pivot 15s. That's why I picked those over the Jesters, even though the Jesters were cheaper and lighter. The other thing to consider is the Jester color schemes are really cool, and they may match more skis. The Look Pivots can have really cool styles too, as this Forza color I think is really cool, but it just depends on what you're looking for. Again, me personally, I'm going to go with the Look Pivot 15s. I've been running the Look Pivot 12s for a long time, and I really do enjoy them. So I think the clear winner here is Look Pivots. If you want a lighter option of the Jesters, like something lighter than the 15s near the Jester's weight, I would maybe go with the Look Pivot 12s. You can check out my other videos. I did a comparison of the Look Pivot 12s to a bunch of other bindings. So feel free to check those videos out. They're in a link in the description below. And I think with that, I'm going to close out the video. If you have any other questions and concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you out on the mountain.